Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, let's do a walk around and tour of the 2024 Toyota Sequoia. The Toyota Sequoia got a full-on redesign for the 2024 model year, and as you can see, this one here is no different. The one that we're taking a look at today is fully loaded. It is the Platinum trim, which is not the highest trim that you can buy the Sequoia in. That would be the Capstone model. You also have the iForce Max engine, which is essentially the hybrid variant of the 3.5 liter twin turbocharged V6 engine that this vehicle comes with. You also have a full leather interior, 3 rows of seating, a 14-inch infotainment system, as well as a pretty nicely equipped inside as well as outside, as I just explained. With that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Pre-Owned, which is a part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see, we're going to be taking a look at the standard Toyota key fob, and it does have a little bit of a weight to it. You have your lock, unlock, your trunk release, your panic alarm, and then your Toyota emblem at the very bottom. But starting things off here in the front, this vehicle is going to have an appearance package which is going to black out certain parts of the exterior. First and foremost, it's going to be the grille here. It's going to be completely blacked out. It does look very nice, and it does have an aggressive look to it. You have your black Toyota badge right there, followed by that front-facing camera, which is very nice. And then you do have this front radar system right here, so that way you won't not only get into an accident, but it's going to apply the brakes so that way you won't get involved in a frontal collision as well. When we pan out a little bit, like I said, you do have that aggressive look as expected on this particular trim, and as you can see, it does look really nice. You also have your front parking sensors on this one, as well as your front fog lights. In addition, you also do have standard LED daytime running lights with your LED projector headlamps. Checking out the wheels and tires on this one, we're taking a look at a set of Falcon Wild Peak All-Terrains, and these are on, I believe these are on 21s. Let me see if I can find them here. These are on 20s. These measure 265, 50R20 all the way around. Coming over to the door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system, which allows easy access for the exterior as well as the interior. By having the key fob in your pocket and coming to the door handle, there's a touch sensor inside. You put your hand in, and 2 beeps will indicate unlocking, allowing you to jump inside of the vehicle. And when you're done, close it up, tap this button here, and 1 beep will indicate locking. The exterior color of this one is finished off in magnetic gray metallic with a black premium cloth interior. Coming over to the door panel, so you can see you're going to have some soft touch material on top here, as well as down here. You'll have some blue stitching across the panel here, which lets you know that you have the Platinum trim, which is pretty nice to see. You have an aluminum door handle. You do have controls here for your mirrors, power locks, child window lock, as well as your power windows. Coming below that, you have a decent sized storage pocket. You have an area for 2 small cup holders, and then you have this very small storage pocket down here on the far right. Along with a smart key access system, the Toyota Sequoia does come standard with push-button ignition. By having the key fob in your pocket or within the vehicle, just simply put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The Toyota Sequoia does come standard with a fully leather-wrapped, racking beam power steering wheel with controls here on the left as well as on the right sides. Left side is going to house things such as a back button, your hands-free phone, as well as your hands-free voice, your volume controls for the audio. You have some buttons here as well that control the instrument cluster on top of there. To the right, you're going to have your cruise control settings, seat track, a mode button here, as well as your lane departure warning and forward collision warning system buttons. Coming on top, you're going to be taking a look at a fully digital instrument cluster, and it's going to give you a lot of information. To the left side, you're going to have your driver information center itself. In the middle is going to be your tachometer with your current speed. And to the right, you're going to have your iForce turbo gauge as well as your max gauge right there, as you can see, since this is the hybrid. Down at the bottom, you're going to have your battery voltage, your oil temperature, your fuel range to the right, as well as your coolant temperature at the bottom right. On the far left, you're going to have your odometer reading, and on the far right is going to be your gear selection. We can change a few things as far as what we see on the screen via the steering wheel, and they include things such as your average fuel economy, as you can see there. You also have your compass, audio, your trailer information, as well as your trip distance, as well as total time, and your tire pressure monitoring system. Your settings, which you can change, and they include things such as your lane tracing assist, pre-collision system, blind spot monitoring, parking sensors, rear cross traffic alert, your heads-up display main. You can customize the right side, trailer settings, trailer light check, vehicle settings, as well as general settings, and then any messages or any warnings. Now coming over here, we do have a 14-inch Toyota-based infotainment system. It's called the Toyota Automated infotainment system, which is very nice, and as you can see, it does look quite impressive. Now, I have talked about this system before in length in some other Toyota vehicles, but since I've never reviewed a Sequoia before, I will talk about it at length to where it would make sense. Now, on the left side here, you're going to have all your submenus, and everything that you see over here is going to correspond over here. Now, as you can see and pay your attention to, we do not have the volume knob, so I cannot demonstrate the audio system without copyright music or radio stations playing. Basically, I listen to talk radio, so you're going to hear everything on that. So that would pend a copyright strike, and that's something we don't do on this channel. So unfortunately, you will not be able to hear the audio system. But let's say I actually enabled the audio system, you'll be able to select your sources on the left side, which includes your AM, FM, Sirius XM radio. All your favorites and everything will be on this side. You have your sound settings and all that stuff on the left side as well, and everything else in between. So it's pretty nice to see. Or in this case, if you want to, you can push sources. You can choose AM, FM, or Sirius XM radio, or you can search for a station right here with the search button right there. With that being said, you have your phone, your vehicle settings, as well as your general settings. And this is going to be basically your home page of the system, as you can see right there, which is very nice. Or in this case, we do have a navigation system set up in here, which is very cool. And as you can see, it does look very nice and it's well detailed. You have your compass here, you have your zoom in functions here, and then your navigation menu down at the very bottom, and you can search for destinations right here as well. Coming down to a phone, this is where you'll be able to connect a device via the Bluetooth system. You have your vehicle settings, which includes your trip information as well as your vehicle alert. Your trip information is going to show us your current speed or average speed after you start the vehicle up, trip range as well as trip duration, as well as your history, which includes your MPG latest as well as your previous best miles per gallon, and then you have your data over here to the right. And as we come down to your settings here, we're going to have things such as our current driver. My settings here is going to be a comprehensive list of different things that you can go through, which includes personal information, Bluetooth devices, general settings, notifications, Wi-Fi, display, sound and media, navigation, vehicle customization, voice and search, vehicle settings, which includes dealer information, software updates, as well as info and security, and your apps. There we go. So starting things off, we are going to go to our general settings, and that's going to allow us to check on things such as our accessibility. It's going to allow us to turn on or off our screen beep, as well as to adjust our screen sensitivity. We do have our date and time, which includes our 24-hour time setup. We have our date format, as well as our set date and time by the Global Positioning System, or GPS. You have keyboard, which you can of course include the search history from that. And then you have your language and units, which includes your language right there, measurements we can set automatically, and of course it's going to show your fuel and electricity consumption, which is going to be in miles per gallon. You do have your display right here, which is going to include things such as your screen and camera. Your screen is going to bring us over here, which includes your display, which you can turn the display on or off. You have your automatic mode, which is going to be based on time and ambient lighting. You can adjust the brightness as well as the contrast. And then your camera is going to allow you to adjust your brightness and contrast. Plus you have these different colors that you can select from, of course. Coming over here, we're going to go to our sound and media. This is where we'll be able to adjust our things such as our levels, sound tuning, as well as media. You also have your auto sound levelizer, which adjusts volume based on driving speed, which you can enable that. And down here is going to allow you to adjust certain things for certain functions, such as your phone, the system, as you can see there, as well as your speakers, whether you want to turn on or off the surround sound system. You have sound tuning, which is going to allow you to adjust your treble, mid-range, and bass. You also have your balance and fade, which is going to allow you to adjust this little circle to basically anywhere in the vehicle, so that we'll get a general idea of where the sound's going to be coming from most of the time. And then down here is going to be your media, which is going to show your display cover art, which is a copyright of Grace Note or its providers. And then your sources down here include your radio, which as you can see, and then Sirius XM. Come back over to our settings here. We're going to go to our vehicle customization. You can adjust things such as the lights, the door control, boarding and exit, as well as the climate controls. And then down here, you have dealer information. It's going to show the information for the dealer, influence security, as you can see there. Software updates, and to check for any updates, as well as licensing information, as well as any apps, which includes your general notification center, as well as your remote connect. So overall, in a nutshell, that is going to be the infotainment system here in the 2024 Toyota Sequoia Platinum. And as you can see, it does look really, really nice to see. Now, before we move on, this vehicle does have a 10-speed automatic transmission. And when put it into reverse, you do have a nice backup camera with guidance lines. And they do adjust as you turn the wheel. You also have a 360 camera here. You also have a couple of different views down here, which includes a front view camera, a side-by-side camera, and a side-by-side camera for the back. You also do have this view here. So a couple of different views that you can go through and kind of see what's going on one side, and you can also see what's going on the other side as well. Pretty cool to see. You do have your guidance markers here, auto camera, your hill descent camera right there, which is very cool to see. And overall, I just like the way that this looks. Very, very intuitive and nice. Now with that said, moving on down here, we do have our climate control functions, which includes our dual zone setup here. You're going to have 3-stage cooling and heated seats for the front and front passenger. Your auto AC, front defrost. You do have your rear controls here for the air conditioning, AC control itself, recycling, fan positioning, turn the air conditioning system off. Coming down below that, you do have more physical buttons, which does include your towing, camera, traction control off switch, hazard lights, as well as your suspension, as you can see there. Like I mentioned, that volume knob is going to be missing, but you do have a physical knob, and then you have a USB port on the far right. Coming down here, you have the key wireless charging pad, which is set up like this, so you can just put your phone like on a stand, as you can see how it's set up here, and that will be able to charge your phone. You also have that indicator light letting you know that it's ready to charge your cellular device. To the left, you're going to have your brake hold as well as electronic parking brake. You have your 10-speed automatic transmission. You do have your four-wheel drive modes right here. You have different modes for things such as, or not different modes, but different buttons here for things such as our drive mode selector. It can be used as a tow haul, multi-terrain select, as well as your crawl control system. So let's say we want to go to our drive mode, which is where this is selected to. That's going to bring us up to our screen here. And includes things such as our sport mode, normal, as well as eco. Come over here, we do have two cup holders. You can close it up here to kind of give it a cleaner and a fresher look. You have this massive area here where not only does it operate as an armrest for the driver or front passenger, you also have this little storage area here, as you can see, you can put some stuff on top of here. But when we roll this back, this portion here, you have a good amount of room as well. And then when we open up the entire thing, you have plenty of storage space. As you can see, you have a deeper storage space on the far right. You have a USB as well as a USB-C port. You have a change holder right next to that as well. And overall, just a generous amount of storage space that you can put stuff inside. Now coming to the seats themselves, this one being the Platinum trim, you are going to be getting a really nice example of what Toyota makes. And as you can tell, materials are not going to be any different. As you can see here, I do like the perforations coming down the middle. It's also quilted as well, so it does look really, really nice. I do like the side bolsters here as well, and it's also perforated on the sides as well. So as you can see, overall, a really nice and very comfortable seat to be in. Coming over here, we do have a glove box, which is dampened, as well as you can see there, a good amount of storage space inside. Some more of that soft touch material. You have some an aluminum finish here, as well as some hard touch plastic on top. We do have our mirror control here. We do have our garage home link, and this also doubles as a camera as well, as you can see. You also have your settings right there. You have controls here for your overhead lights, SOS for roadside assistance. These two things here are going to be for your sunroof. You do have mood lighting. You do have this button right here, which is going to open up the trunk, which we'll do that in just a moment. You have a sunglass holder here. You do have a visor with a mirror as well as LED lighting. And as we come over to the left side, as you can see, we're going to have the button here to turn on and off the puddle lights for the doors. You're going to have your fog light controls to open up the gas tank, which we'll do that now. Heated steering wheel, a 120 volt outlet, auto trip meter, your safety feature right there, as well as your gauge dimmer switches. Overall, very impressive, very nice, and it's pretty cool to see. So with that said, let's go ahead and continue the tour of the 2024 Toyota Sequoia Platinum. Coming into the second row of the Toyota Sequoia, as you can see, materials do fall through in this one, as you can see. And we're looking at pretty much a captain's chair setup, although you do have that middle console in the middle there. You're going to have two seat pockets, one on this side and one on that side. You have two cup holders here. You do have your controls here for your climate down at the very bottom, which includes your heated and ventilated rear second row seats for this side as well as that side. This is to adjust the fan speed, as you can see there. Fan positioning over here, which is what the smoke button is for. You can turn this completely off, or you can have it on auto, as you can see. You do have one USB port down here, and then one USB-C port next to that, followed by a standard household plug-in right over here. And of course, you do have the center console, which you have two more cup holders, your first aid kit here, and some storage. And here's a look at the third row, which is currently down at the moment. You also have your privacy covers here, which is standard on the Platinum trim. You do have your fuel tank right here. Now, coming into the cargo area of the Toyota Sequoia, this is why you would buy something like this big 3-row SUV, and that's because you actually have a lot of room in here. Now, depending on how this is set up, you can have this portion here be set up on this little level. So you have two levels, or really you have three levels. You have this upper level, this middle level, and this lower level. The lower level is going to give you the least amount of storage space as far as to start things off with. This right here is about 11.6 cubic feet, but if you were to put it up here or up here, you'll be getting a little more cargo room. Around 22 cubic feet is what Toyota says you'll be getting if you put it on top in these two tiers up here. So you're looking at 11.6 here. You fold down the third row, which is what we're looking at right now, you're going to get 49 cubic feet of space, which is still pretty good. And then you fold down the second row, which is going to be done by the side tabs here, as you can see. Cargo space will then more than almost double, really, or not even double. You're going to be getting a great amount of cargo space, coming in at 86.9 cubic feet of space. So essentially 87 cubic feet of space for a vehicle of this size is pretty much on average. Now, if we have the third row up, you do have some amenities back here, such as your cup holders. And even the third row gets its own privacy covers, as you can see, one right over here and one right over there. Now, back here, like I said, you do have your little tier areas, you can see there. This is to lift down these third row seats. You do have a household plug-in, as you can see there. And then underneath here, we're probably going to have something like a fix-a-flat kit and some tools. And then when you're finished, just tap the button and it will close on automatically. And since it's closing now, let's go ahead and take a look at the rear of the vehicle. As you can see, we do have LED taillights in the back. You have your Toyota badge right there. You have your Sequoia name spelled out across, as well as your rear parking sensors. You also have piano black mirror, or excuse me, you have body colored mirrors with LED turn signals on them. Under the hood of the Toyota Sequoia Platinum, we're taking a look at Toyota's iForce Max system. It's essentially the same 3.4-liter twin turbocharged V6, but with a hybrid powertrain. You're looking at 437 horsepower and 589 pound-feet of torque. It's going to be mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and this vehicle is four-wheel drive. All right, guys, so back in the Toyota Sequoia. It is a nice place to spend time, especially if you're into a very nice premium 3-row SUV that's fully loaded, it's a full size, and then they'll get you from point A to point B in style. But with that being said, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this walk around and tour of the 2024 Toyota Sequoia Platinum, finished off here in magnetic gray metallic with the black premium cloth interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.